Michelle, is he a good one?
Hi,
Is he a
Dr.
good one?
Claude.
Tell me he's a good one. Tell me you didn't
Uh,
let a not a good one in the door.
no, it's more like a post-dating question, actually.
Post dating.
I
You're
think
dating at the post office?
yeah.
I haven't heard
Well,
that one
I'll tell you.
before. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very strange. No, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Met at church. Um, but so we actually, I broke it off with him, and
How long did you
my
date him?
question is, it was 3.5 months, and part of the reason I broke it off was because I didn't feel like we couldn't get on the same page as far as, is this, like, are we going to be in a relationship? He just saw us as dating and not in a relationship, and I, want to be in a relationship and get married. And every time he wouldn't bring up the subject, so I felt like I was
How,
always bringing it up.
let me ask you a question. In
Hmm.
in 3 months, how would you know that? Um, how would you know that he's the one you wanted to marry?
Right. Well, and that's what I was telling him. Like, I'm not asking him to marry me. I'm just asking him, hey, are we going to move past casual dating to exclusive, like in a relationship? And,
Okay, and
you know,
how soon did that come up?
about 2 months in. And part of it
Okay,
was because he was started, you know, treating me differently, like physically. And so, and without explaining why he was acting differently. And so then I thought, well, does he still like me or what's going on? So my
you
friends
mean
encouraged me to just ask.
he was pulling away, or he was moving towards you
Yeah,
more?
like less affectionate,
Okay,
but still, but that was the only thing that he had pulled away in. Um, and so that's when I brought up the question, hey, are we moving towards being in a relationship? Or, I didn't want to push and say, hey, I want to be in a relationship today, but like, do you see this moving in that direction? And he said, well, it's too early. I'm not used to having this conversation this early. And so I said, okay. So I
how
didn't
much
bring it up
physical?
again.
How much physical was there in 2 months?
Uh, I was making out, stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So he said, "Well, I'm not used to it, but okay, you might not be used to it, but where are you, Joey, in the relationship? Do you like? Do you like hanging out? Do you want to be? Tell me where you are. You don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to make a decision, but let's talk. Right?
Right. And that's pretty much, I was just wanting to have that conversation.
That's
And
fair.
so I didn't bring it up again for another month because I didn't want him to feel pressured, because I wasn't in a super hurry either. Like, I wanted to take it slow, get to know each other. Um, Also, backstory, we had been on a couple dates previously. So we already knew each other.
Okay.
Um, but
So
anyway, a
what
month
is the
later, after
question
we
then?
had,
Oh, go
well, a
ahead.
month later, we were invited to a wedding at the church. Two people that we know, both of us knew this couple, and he did not ask me to go to the wedding with him. And I didn't know, is that some weird church culture dating thing where you don't want people to know that you're dating someone? Or was he stringing me along? Or I was so confused because then at the wedding, we had been dating for 3 months. And then at the wedding, it just felt like I was a casual acquaintance.
Yeah, that
And
sounds
so,
weird. I don't know. I'm not
and
there, and I don't know, but that just sounds weird. You're dating somebody exclusively for 3 months, and
right,
you treat her like a stranger at a wedding.
right. Yeah, the same
Okay.
wedding. And now it was assigned seating. We were at different tables because of COVID and everything. So then after that, I thought, okay, I need to let him know how I feel, because I have a hard time expressing myself anyways and saying, hey, this hurt my feelings. So I said, hey, I kind of felt like an acquaintance at the wedding. What is this thing? Like, I know we talked about it a month ago, but is this heading in any sort of relationship direction? and he just clammed up and got silent for like 5 minutes. It was like a hard conversation to have for some reason. And he felt like backed into a corner, like he had to answer the question. And I was really just trying to like gauge where he was, like, is this going anywhere or not? Because
backed into a corner. I mean, what corner is this, dude? You're sitting out there in a pasture. There's no corners. You have all the freedom in the world. Answer the woman's question. What do you want? Show
right,
up. And he didn't. And
yeah,
so
and
you it sounds like you kicked him to the curb. Is that right?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I realized, we can't communicate. We can't have this conversation. Seems like, something we should be able to just freely talk about. And
If you
it seems hard.
if you can't talk about how where are you in the relationship, then you don't have anything to go forward on at some point. Now,
Right.
somebody could say early on, well, we haven't even, it's on your first date. We say, well, I hadn't even ordered my salad yet. And you're always already asking how many kids we're going to have. That's too soon, right?
Right.
But if you've been at this for 3 months and you're not dating other people, and he can't answer a question about how he's feeling about where y'all are, then that's a good sign to you that you're not with somebody who's able to talk about life. And so,
Right.
next. So good, you're gone.
Right.
So,
Okay. Well,
what's the
and then
question?
so my question, is, and this relates to us going out the first time. He wants to be friends, and I think he wants to still talk and text me all the time, or whatever sort of communication he wants to have. The first time we went out a couple times, we dated. I stopped it because I just wasn't ready to date at that point. And I was like, hey, can we not text every day? Because it just did something to me. I didn't want to text him all the time if we weren't dating.
What's the question now?
Well, he felt betrayed the first time when I set that boundary of, hey, can we not text every day? So the question is today, should I set a boundary? Is it normal with someone you've dated for 3.5 months to just go right into being friends with them right away?
Well, wait a minute. Stop. I don't have any close friends that I can't have a conversation with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you can't have a conversation, then how can you be my close friend? I mean, I'll say hi to you at church.
Yeah.
Maybe you go, but dude, come on. Like, we're in this relationship, and you're making out and whatever else you're doing, and exclusive and all of this, and all of a sudden, she wants you to show up and kind of act like you're at least dating, and then you ignore her, and then she asks you about it, and you won't talk about it, and then that's not what friends do. And so, if you're saying, is it okay that you don't want to be texting and pals? Say, you know what? Here's what here's one option. I'll just give you one option. I'd say, I've thought about it, and I think, at this point, I'd rather just stay casual friends. It might change later, but the experience of not being able to talk about stuff and all of that's not it's not really what I want. And so, no, we probably won't be texting a lot. That's how I would look at it, probably.
Because it does something to me too emotionally, where because you still have feelings for the guy, so it's just very confusing.
Yeah, well, let's go. Are you on Facebook? Do you watch this on Facebook?
I watch it on YouTube.
On YouTube. All right. So whoever else on YouTube, go tell Michelle. Go help Michelle get over the feelings of this. Okay. You know why I'm laughing, Michelle?
I think so.
I'm thinking about especially women. I'm thinking of women out there that are going to surround you and go, if a guy won't talk to you and he's wanting all these benefits and all this other stuff, but he won't talk to you, then to let go of him, you just got to really think about what you're letting go of what you had in that relationship, and it's going to get so small. It's like that. Why am I? Why? Yeah, and it's going to be easier to let go of when you stop fantasizing about all the good that you're losing, and you start to realize, here's why I walked away. He wouldn't talk to me. He didn't treat me special. He didn't, And so, what are we losing? Well, it diminishes when you see reality, and I think people would see that. Okay.
I mean, and do you think? Yeah. I just was curious if you thought it was strange that I was the only one asking the question of the DTR.
Well, somebody usually brings it up first. I don't really care. I don't care who brings it up first. What I do care about is that both people are able to have it, and they have it honestly. You don't have to be on the same page. I would have liked to have heard something from him that said, well, I've been thinking about it. I do find myself pulling back a little bit sometimes, and here's why. Or I do find myself hitting pause again because we're getting into this and I really like you and there's no real red flags or anything, but I'm just being a little hesitant because maybe I'm scared. I don't care what the answer is. I just want the answer. And that's going to also give you an indication of, the quality of the communication and what is, we talked about in the beginning of the show, we're talking about skills. Does he have the skills to do this? If you can't have a skill, if you don't have the skills to have a DTR conversation, then chances are you don't have the skills to have the R.
Yeah.
If you can't define the relationship, how are you going to have a relationship? So, anyway.
Right.
All right. Thank you for your call.
Awesome.